Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your July 2020 energy reading. So if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, you are enjoying summertime. So happy summer. If you've been feeling a little bit off, maybe a little extra reflective, maybe super introspective, maybe just a little bit scatterbrained. It could be because Mercury has been in retrograde. And if you're like me, you're looking forward to the end of Mercury retrograde on July 12th, because sometimes things can get a little bit wonky during Mercury retrograde, especially communications. Sometimes communication gets a little bit off. Even if you've been having difficulty with electronics and you've had trouble connecting maybe to your Zoom meetings, it may be because Mercury is in retrograde. Also in July, we have a lunar eclipse coming up on the 5th, and it's basically the last of a series of eclipses that have occurred over the past 2 years periodically. A Cancer-Capricorn combination. So as this is the last one for a while, you may find that you have a major revelation or the end of some sort of chapter in your life with that eclipse that comes through on the 5th. And then on the 20th, we've got a new moon in Cancer, and that is energy that is especially conducive for setting intentions. So if there are intentions that you would like to bring forward for the universe to consider, you may want to consider doing that for that new moon in Cancer on the 20th. But we will get on with your reading, Aquarius. So the first card that we'll choose is the overall energy for the month for our Aquarius friends. We've got the Hierophant. And then what do our Aquarius friends have to look forward to this month? What positive event is going to come through for Aquarius? Oh, we've got the Three of Swords. What about their romantic or significant relationships? What's the energy for significant or romantic relationships for Aquarius for July of 2020? We've got the Nine of Wands. What about school or work? What is the energy surrounding school or work for Aquarius? We've got the Ten of Pentacles. And what about finances? What is the financial state going to look like for Aquarius during the month of July? We've got the King of Cups. And what will be challenging for Aquarians this month so that they are better prepared? Could you give them a hint on where they may face a challenge during the month of July for our Aquarian friends? The Three of Pentacles. And then what is the advice for Aquarians this month to deal with any bumps in the road? What is the advice for our Aquarian friends to deal with any bumps in the road that they may encounter? We've got the Seven of Wands. So for the overall energy of the month, you ended up with the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is a major arcana card. So that means that July should be a significant month for you, and that you should learn some significant lessons through the month. Especially pertaining to spirituality, as the Hierophant is often associated with a religious figure. It used to be known as the Pope card. We don't call it that anymore, but it does generally mean that there is some sort of spiritual teacher who is very likely to impact your life in the way that they're going to teach you an important spiritual universal type lesson. So the energy for the month is Spirit is definitely saying that you should be open, wide open to spiritual messages from the universe. So if you are having any questions, if you're seeking answers, and it could be with regard to business, it could be with regard to relationship, that you want to try to seek some sort of spiritual insight when trying to find the solution. Now that might be, taking the time to meditate and quiet your mind. It may be seeking a actual spiritual teacher, or maybe some spiritual insight from some sort of book or video or something along those lines. The universe advises you to stay open-minded, because the thought process may be just a little bit different than what you're used to, is the message that comes across. Now, then the next card that comes through as something that's positive for the month. And generally, people see the Three of Swords and they look at it as something negative, because this is generally a card that pertains to grief and heartache and maybe some sort of loss. And that's probably obvious through the imagery, because you've got this red heart and you've got three swords that are basically poking through the heart, and in the background it's gray and raining. Luckily for you though, Aquarius, this is coming in as something positive for the month. So what this is telling me is that you've already survived the heartbreak, the grief, the loss. And that the worst of it is over. That now, moving forward, you should move away from that. Your lesson's been learned, and all of that, all those negative aspects are finally being, they're done. They're temporarily done. They're not going to be blocking you from moving forward anymore. It's almost like you now have some sort of information or knowledge that you didn't have before, and that you're going to be able to move forward away from that heartache and grief in the past. So that definitely is a good sign. With that said, there may be still, at least through the month of July, a significant relationship in your life that is causing you to be a little bit exhausted with it. With the Nine of Wands is generally an energy of exhaustion. You feel you're still standing, but you feel like you have basically fought a battle. But the message that always comes across with the Nine of Wands is that you've gotten this far and you're still standing. So if you hang in there just a little bit longer and you try to open yourself up to new ways of doing things, that you're going to be able to move forward. So this is not signifying the end of a significant relationship. It's just saying that maybe there's a little bit more of the bumpy path before it becomes smooth. It looks like a really positive month for you with regards to work and school. You ended up with the Ten of Pentacles, which is a card about abundance. So it seems like you're going to be in an energy with regards to work in school where things are really prospering for you. So you're going to feel like you're thriving. And that things are moving in the right direction. So that is a very positive card there. The next card relates to finances, and you end up with the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is sort of a funny card to get with regards to finances, because the King of Cups is all about his emotions. He doesn't quite focus on as much on monetary type concerns. He focuses, much more on honoring heart and spirit, and really, focusing on what is coming from his heart. So I think that the message here, as I'm trying to tune in and connect, is that you want to approach your finances with a heart-centered approach this month. And that's not true for all signs, but it's true for you, Aquarius, is that you want to take a heart-centered approach to your finances rather than a head-based approach. And again, I know that generally for finances you would take a head over heart approach, but not this month. Allow yourself to make decisions based on emotion this month, and things should turn out in your favor. The challenge of the month is the Three of Pentacles. So this card could have a couple different meanings here in this position of the challenge of the month. One is that threes sometimes signify third parties. So if there's a situation in your life, whether it be a relationship or a job situation or some family or friend type situation, it could possibly mean that one of the challenges for the month for you is that you have to deal with third-party interference in some regard. Now, the other possibility is that this is particularly, specifically known as the scholar card in the deck, or the apprentice card. So you can see that here it's supposed to be like you're learning. So this could literally mean that the challenge of the month for you is that you have something to learn, and that you're going to have to be open to that energy of seeing things through a different lens and maybe accepting the help of others, which sometimes could be difficult in certain circumstances. Now, how the universe says that you should handle it is very clear. That message from that card is always very clear. The Seven of Wands is the stand your ground card. You can see that the person on the card is standing in a very wide stance, and they're doing that to get a really wide base so that they are able to be stable. So the universe is saying that it's going to be very important for you this month in July to stand your ground. Now that means that you have to be true to yourself. So there is something this month that is going to challenge you. The challenge could be, again, going back to a third party. There could be some sort of competition, whether it be with regards to a relationship or whether it be with regards to a business situation. But Spirit is saying that you will be able to work through it if you stand your ground and you don't listen to others, that you true to yourself. So I hope that that energy reading was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe so that if we do these on another month, you will be notified. And either way, I wish all of you a very blessed July. Take care.